We have breaking news out of Long Beach. A huge street takeover happening overnight, leading to a convenience store being looted.
KTLA's Aaron Myers live at the scene with a look at the damage done at that store. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Chris. There were quite a few people out here very early this morning when cars were in the intersection doing stunts. People were also breaking into this market here behind me. This is J&G Market. The family that owns it says it was closed when this happened. The looters, they pulled open the gate and smashed the glass to get inside. Some of that glass on the ground there. Now, right at the intersection, though, where the store is located, this was the scene.
The leadership in California, genuinely, they have to do something to start protecting the citizens, the business owners, the people that are actually contributing into the community. Because to see how this is playing out and to see stuff like this is heartbreaking, because most businesses, contrary to popular belief, are not large corporations. They're not owned by Apple and Google and Nvidia and all of the places that have, $2, $3, and $4 trillion valuations. They are small mom and pop spots where people have basically created a job for themselves. I know that people think that small business owners are super rich, or they're wealthy, or they're well off, or they just have all of these different locations. And they don't. They absolutely don't. I had an opportunity to fly out to California. I actually visited different portions of LA before heading out to Newport Beach and Anaheim and different places like that. And I will tell you that it's not all of California. There is a huge portion of it, obviously, because the central population of it resides in the San Francisco's and in the Los Angeles area and stuff. But I think that we have this perspective that Los Angeles is all of California. California is a huge space. And a lot of the counties are actually red. They are Republican. They are conservative. They're conservative with their dollars, their principles, and so on and so forth. But we have a leadership problem in places like Los Angeles. And even the governor of California has a leadership problem where the majority of the voters are all centralized, which then take over what it represents, when in reality, the majority demographic as far as the actual landscape is actually red. It is actually Republican. And so it's crazy to think that when you sit here and you look at stories like this where people are just doing burnouts and tearing up stores without any kind of problems, and that police got their hands tied. And then you got Karen Bass, who's operating at a $1 billion budget deficit, and she's not helping the problem at all. As a matter of fact, she's probably making a problem much, much worse, because you don't have anything that's stopping any of these thugs and these criminals from doing what they do. If you can't stop illegal migrants, and they're telling the Los Angeles Police Department to stand down when it comes to arresting the biggest offenders that commit crime inside of Los Angeles, or the people that never even decided that they wanted to become legal before they cross over into the borders and went to Los Angeles in the first place. If you have the majority of the people that do what they want to do when they want to do it, even when they came over here, and that's not even including who God knows who is out there doing burnouts and all of the young people that's out there. If you can't even control a portion of your population while the federal government is thriving economically and they're continuing to get wins, but California and specifically Los Angeles is operating at an annual $1 billion budget deficit, which then leads to layoffs of firefighters, sanitation workers, critical workers, and then more importantly, public safety and police officers. What do you think that you're going to get? You're going to get the same thing that happened over in Oakland. In Oakland, they are practically on the verge of filing for bankruptcy, to the point to where they ousted their mayor. And she is now under investigation, and I believe she got indicted, which I haven't followed up on that story since Trump became president, but I'm definitely going to follow up on it. But she got indicted, because of crooked dealings. And then as a result, her and the mayors that came before them and all of the city council members and things like that, they basically ran the city into the ground to where even the hotel, the last standing hotel that's next to the airport near Oakland, has shut down. And so it creates an environment where it gets worse for the taxpaying citizens and for the business owners that employ people and that put money into the economy. And they have no recourse. They have no way of being able to protect themselves, protect their stores. And don't carry a gun in Los Angeles. Boy, they'll give you more time than the people that's actually robbing you.
This all happened shortly after the store closed, which is at midnight, according to the owners. That's when you see a red car in the intersection at Orange Avenue and East Harding Street. It appears to be a Dodge Charger doing several donuts,
I don't
the
think
tires
that's a Charger.
burning.
It looks like a Camaro. Yeah, she said that looks like a Dodge Charger. Looks like a
the
Camaro.
owners. That's when you see a red car in the intersection at Orange Avenue and East Harding Street.
Producers, y'all need to do better. The producers definitely need to be better. And if you're going to be in Los Angeles, at least you got to understand car culture.
It appears to be a Dodge Charger doing several donuts, the tires burning. You can see smoke in the air while surrounded by spectators. When police arrive, you see the red car drive off and the crowd of spectators starts to run from the area.
This is
a
crazy.
large crowd was also seen breaking into J&G Market. You can see broken glass, food items.
So they leave, they go and tear up a store. They start setting up fireworks. And I can guarantee you that nobody, and I say nobody, was probably arrested as a result of it. This is so dumb.
And beverages on the ground outside the
Look at
store.
them. They're just out there.
Once on scene, police did put crime tape around the market,
So
and the
dumb.
family came out to clean up, saying they have owned this store for many years. They've never had anything like this happen before, they tell us. Now, the inside is quite a mess this morning. The family saying that they don't know how much inventory was taken at this point, but they tell us dozens of people did get inside. Now, back here live, we are trying to get more information from the Long Beach Police Department about if anyone was hurt or if any arrests were made. Anyone with any information is also encouraged to contact them. Reporting live here in Long Beach.
It's stupid. It is. It's really dumb. It's dumb to think that all of these liberal cities over in California cannot get their stuff together. They can, and I'm making a concerted effort to try not to curse as much anymore unless the situation warrants it. But families are getting their businesses broken into. They doing burnouts in the middle of the street and nobody is getting arrested as a result of it. They're disturbing the peace. And the biggest thing that all of these mayors and these governors are doing is basically advocating against the Trump administration, and they'd rather spend all of their resources suing when they know that higher courts and the Supreme Court is eventually going to rule in favor of the Trump administration instead of doing the thing that's best for the citizens. When you think about your legislators, right? When you think about your governors, when you think about your mayors, when you think about your city council people, remember that when you vote, because I know a lot of y'all don't think that voting matters, but when you vote, the local election is just as impactful, if not more, depending on your day-to-day lifestyle, than the federal election. And so we got it right on the federal election, and you guys have to get it right when it comes to your local politics, whether it be the governor or whether it be the mayor. Because every time I see people like Karen Bass and Brandon Johnson get on the screen, Mike Johnson down in Denver, when I see this happen, and when I see this type of stuff play out, it bothers me to my core. And so I would like for people to be safe. There's no reason why we shouldn't take the handcuffs off the police officers to do their jobs so that they can arrest the people that are the biggest offenders and ensure that your neighborhoods and your communities and everything else that's surrounding it is safe. But maybe that's too much to ask. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. I want to know, because I am seriously considering spending 4 or 5 months out of the year in different parts of California to experience, some of the things that I've experienced when I just flew out there this last week, and I flew out there a lot of times. But I am curious, but I want to know, what areas do I need to stay away from and what areas do I need to consider? I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.